The Mayfield girls are on their way to Division I regional competition for the second straight year after a thorough 5-0 win over Mentor on Saturday afternoon in a D1 district final over at Perry. While it wasn't the greatest display of attacking flow and rhythm in Mayfield girls soccer history, it was effective enough, and the thing that I really liked about it the most from the Wildcats' point of view was the variance that they showed in the attack. Sometimes when you see Mayfield play, they're really relying on that quality through wide play. And they'll win balls in midfield, they'll send that service early out wide, take advantage of those pacey runs really out wide in the channels, and have those runs turn into runs into the box and get shots on target that way. In this instance, maybe they were a little bit more reliant on the wide runs for crosses instead of runs into the box to get shots. And you really saw some nice things from Mayfield there in the second half as they blew the match open. The third goal there to make it a 3-0 match. Nice pacey run by Marissa Handel out there wide right. And the thing I liked the most about that was Chrissy Blanchard being able to stay on side there. That's a tough ask right there when you have such a quick player out wide to stay on side, wait for the service, get your touch, and get a shot on target. Chrissy stayed on side, did beautifully with that, waited for a touch, patiently got it, slotted her finish to make it a 3-0 match, and then they got a couple goals there down the stretch. A beautiful left-footed strike from Courtney Favazzo to make it 4-0, and then Chrissy struck again to grab her brace and make it 5-0 there for the final margin. I thought Mayfield's ball winning in midfield was very solid all match. Tyler Klicka had a very good match. Blanchard was very solid. Favazzo was very solid. Cassie Lewis had her moments out wide as well. Just, again, some good variance in the attack, and you like to see that, especially this time of year, not being reliant on the same thing to get quality and produce quality there in the offensive third. With Mentor, they just needed a complexion changer at some point there in the opening half. They were showing some promise at times with their ball winning and their pace and their touches into the offensive third. Jessie Hegedus was dangerous at times, but there were also times too where it seemed like they'd have a chance for a really nice hard counterattack and the service just wasn't sent early enough. And then unfortunately there at the end of the half, 36th minute, they're in a 2-0 match. As we always say, the old saying goes, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in the sport. They get a chance there for a PK and are unable to take advantage of it. It's unfortunate, but it just wasn't meant to be there. And then in the second half, Mayfield's able to produce 6 shots on target and take firm control of the match there and win it 5-0. This Mayfield side, I just love the mix that they have in this group. Veteran-laden with young players also complementing that veteran leadership there with girls like Chrissy Blanchard and Marissa Handel, who have been starting since day one. It's good to see this side really firing on all cylinders. They got that program-defining result last year in a district final at Mentor to get to regionals for the first time in school history. And here they are this year, 17-2, rolling into regionals, and maybe with a little bit different mindset than last year when they were in the regional semis last year. Maybe it was more excitement about being there than getting a result. In this instance, they're excited to be there, and they have a pretty decent chance of getting a result. Maslin Jackson is a great team, but we'll see how they're able to play there. I have confidence that they'll be able to make it a pretty decent match there. And by the way, I hope everything's all right there with Marissa Handel. It was tough to see her go down there in the second half with the match well in hand. You hate to see one of our area's best players wearing ice on her left foot after the match and having to be carried around for the medal ceremony and that sort of thing. I sincerely hope that Marissa's all right, and hopefully she'll be out there on the pitch on Tuesday when the Wildcats take on Maslin Jackson. But a nice result for Mayfield. You know Mentor will be back. They have a young side, and they'll be great in 2016. But it'll be the Wildcats that will march on after a thorough 5-0 win over Mentor on Saturday.